check in first. We can do introductions too as we're checking in.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so how about everyone who's new, which is Leo and Andrea, you guys can give a brief introduction on yourselves and mention your pronouns.
Cool.
So Leo, go ahead.
Okay, all right.
Go first, yeah.
I might as well. So I'm Leo. I'm Carly's cousin. My pronouns are they, them. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Cool.
What's your sign?
Oh yeah, what's your sign, Kayla asked.
It's a Leo. The thought was like, well, I might as well get into it. I might as well embrace it.
Yeah.
For sure. Love it. All right, Andrea.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrea, and my pronouns are she, her. I just want to say thank you for inviting me into this space. And my sign, I am a Libra.
You sounded so unsure.
Libra sun, and I'm a Leo moon.
Nice.
That's like all I know. Don't ask me anything else. That's all I know.
Do you know your moon, Leo, and your rising?
Leo sun, Cancer moon, and Sagittarius rising.
Dang, let's get it. That's cool.
Very loud, very animated, very in your face.
We love it. Fire and water duo right here.
It's crazy.
I can imagine. All right, guys. So do you want to do the mental health checkup first, or do you want to talk about any events first?
For mental health.
Mental health first. Okay.
Hi.
Yay, my baby.
That angle.
I'm setting up my computer right now, but I'll be on my phone in the meantime.
Okay, no worries. All right, so who wants to go first for mental health checkup? Just,
Should we time it, or do you think?
We can give maybe try to give 10 minutes to this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you guys talked till forever last time.
We did.
Yeah, so.
We did.
It doesn't even really matter. We were up until 3 in the morning or something?
Yeah, for real. That was fun though. I enjoyed it.
Good. Damn, that's why you had so much to edit then, huh?
Yeah. It wasn't too bad though.
Recording that entire time?
Yeah.
I thought you stopped it.
No. Nope. So who wants to go first? Go ahead.
Sorry.
Anyone? Okay, I'll go first then. Let me go to my room real quick. Yeah, so it's been, sorry, just a little bit of darkness real quick. It's been a very just so many emotions in the air, and just a lot of shitty things happening as usual. I went to the BLM LA protest yesterday, the weekly Jackie Lacey one with my friend Jana, and it was just really heavy with emotion, everyone there, because of the recent murder of Dijon Kizzee, RIP, and there were a lot of other families there who were speaking. Hey, Enrique. There were a lot of other families there who were speaking about their own, whether it was their son or whether it was their partner or Theo or something, and their killings, linked to the police. And I'm just fucking sick of it, basically. Backplay. I swear it sounds like aliens. Okay, I think it's good.
Here's Enrique.
Let's just blame it on Enrique. He left. All right. Anyway, yeah, it was just really heavy yesterday, and there's just been a lot of whites and white passing people who've been testing me the past couple of weeks in general, and I'm just tired of the excuses, you know, like Lisa and I are in a group chat right now, and like some of these white people are just like, oh well, like someone was making a point, like, because I was like, oh, is anyone going to go to this LA protest? And this girl had responded like, oh, that sounds like a spread of COVID right there. And I was just like, the disregard right now for Black liberation that it sounded like, and the disregard for Black lives really made me upset. And I was like passive aggressive with her pretty much. I was just like, well, you know, like I'm going to die for this. And like, maybe some of you aren't about that. So, you know, that's on you pretty much. And then this other like fucking white sympathist Latina girl was just like, we shouldn't hold our comrades. That's another discussion that Lisa and me and Jana had last night. We shouldn't hold our comrades to saying that we're willing to die for something. And I was like, well, if you're not willing to die for this, then why are you in this group chat? And why are you saying you're for Black lives? Like, you know, period. Because some of these people, they were like, oh, well, I have a family. Oh, well, I don't know anyone else here. Like, what if I get arrested? It's like, okay, like Black people are going to school. Like there are Black people that are going to school that are out in the streets right now. There are Black people that have families that are out in the streets right now, risking their lives for their own liberation. And you want to be selfish enough to say, oh, I'm going to get arrested, or like, oh, like I'm scared or something, you know, like some bullshit like that, or like, oh, COVID. And it's like, if you're like a white person, it's like, as Lisa was telling before, like it has been statistically proved that Black and brown people are receiving a disproportionate impact against COVID. So anyway, I'm just tired of white people basically, and like white passing people, and saying like, especially that they're exhausted right now. It's like, just shut up, stop trying to make this about you, and just shut your fucking mouth and do the work. And that's basically it. I'm just like tired of hearing it. So I'll popcorn it off to, how about Andrea?
Well, let's see. My mental health right now. I just got done with my second week at school. By the way, I am a full-time student right now at Cal State Long Beach, and it's my final year. So I'm trying to get this shit done. I think I was like I was super motivated last week, but then for some reason, like on Sunday, Monday, I was like, like I can't, like should I like really do this? Like, you know, like, and then I remember like a lot of like my readings, especially like in Chicano studies, it's about how higher education was created for like white men, and I'm like, well, like there's no place for us here. Maybe this is why I'm feeling this way. Like I was like, I need to finish it. Like I don't know, like it's just kind of hard. And even like Leo, the article you shared by Russell Means, and how he doesn't like, or he didn't believe like in like written language and all that shit. And I agree, I completely agree. Like this is so foreign to us, and I feel like we're just like trying to like, I don't know, fit in a way with white people. And I'm like, why are we doing this? And it's so fucking exhausting. Yeah, that's what I have to say right now. I did have class yesterday, and I was able to like really kind of talk with one of my professors, and it did help me feel a little bit better. But yeah, this is where I'm at right now. I'll popcorn it off to Sandy.
Thank you for sharing, Andrea. Yeah, like, I don't know what it is about this week. It just kind of seems like a lot. And at least personally, I've been reflecting a lot about just my past self, high school me, like fuck high school me, honestly. And just the fact that it took until like junior, senior year and mostly like higher education for me to actually like learn about social justice issues, learn about like communities of color, learn about like women X, like BIPOC, you know? And I didn't learn any of this shit like in high school. All of the history textbooks were made from white men for white men. And they just like instilled this notion to us that like all this shit was already in the past, like we've already gone over it, whatever, right? We made our reparations, whatever. But like it's so not true. And it's evident now about like the last hundreds of years that's still like been happening. So yeah, I've just been reflecting, thinking about like, okay, so that was me not knowing in the past, but like what am I doing now? Like what can I do to continue like educating myself and learning? And so I'm very thankful for this like collective group of us, because I do think that because I'm not in college anymore, I'm not taking these classes, so sometimes it's a little hard to like have a discussion based around like social justice issues. But I'm happy that we are here together and like we can like collectively talk about what's going on. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of our discussions. And I shall popcorn to Kayla. That's okay. Oh, you were in the middle of writing. I'm sorry. I could popcorn to somebody else.
It's okay. It kind of, it's all good. I wrote down a couple of things. Carly, I wanted to respond that what I've been noticing a lot lately are like in response to what that white passing person said about like Black Lives Matter and showing up to the protests and like blaming protests as like the rise of COVID-19 is like has already been proven that protests have no links to the rising coronavirus, and that's just a form of derailing. So that was one thing. And then I was thinking about Black students during COVID who are also on scholarship programs. Like they still have to show up and risk their lives every day to get an education. And then, so mentally this week, I've been thinking a lot about white exclamation and proclamation on their need for healing, but doing it in a way where it's like not beneficial at all. It's just it's just benefiting themselves by like claiming that they're on Ohlone land, and how they like do these land acknowledgements at every fucking like get together. But it's those land acknowledgements to me only get so far, and I get really annoyed because it doesn't prove anything to me that they're doing anything that's benefiting Indigenous population in the Bay Area. And then I've been thinking a lot lately about my relationship to social media and activism, and how some of it doesn't seem real because everything's virtual and you can't touch it. You can't see the people that it's affecting the most, and there's no action. So it's interesting. I'm kind of redefining what direct action means during this time. And I would like to like discover what that means for me, and then spread that within my friend group. I don't know. I'm just like redefining what the civil rights movement means in this day and age. And learning what the best ways are to navigate besides, I mean, it's obvious that you need to start spreading your wealth to Black and brown communities. But I just, intrinsically, I'm trying to understand what activism is now. And if there's actually ever going to be change or not. So that's kind of like where I'm at. And I am gonna popcorn it to Enrique.
Wait, can anyone hear me?
Yay!
Yes. Yeah.
You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay, hold on. Let me try to start this video. Sorry, you guys, I barely got on, so I'm kind of lost on where we're at. Hi everyone.
We're basically just doing a mental health check real quick, or like, you know, something that's been bugging you lately, or yeah.
Thank God.
You got it.
Is it okay? So oh, sorry, I was making pizza also in the oven. Sorry, I'm super nervous because I've been like a fucking flop, but I got it situated, and I think honestly, like, this on top of like everything that I've been feeling was probably not what I wanted to deal with, because now I have to like buy a laptop or something or figure this out. But I think I have been feeling like very like I'm kind of unsure on like where I should put my main focus at, just because I feel like I kind of want to do everything at once. And I think because of the pandemic and everything going on, like it's really easy to feel stuck, and like you kind of can't move because you don't want to make like I don't know, I have been feeling like I can't take the next step because I feel like limited. And I think because I already struggle with anxiety, like it's kind of been getting to me, because like you read all these things that are going on, you don't want to go outside, and then you get pissed off because you see all the ignorant shit online, and then you see like all the ignorant people out partying, living their lives, while you're over here like, damn, why am I over here so stressed and like about all this shit, and no one else cares? Like, I don't know, sorry, I just had to let it out because this computer situation made me so hot. Can you hear me? Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
I can hear you.
I'm on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, so I don't know if that was super off topic, but that's just how I felt in the moment right now. And I love that this space is allowing us to like kind of like talk and come together, because it's really hard, like how I've been feeling, like where people don't care, but when you come in, like I am able to express myself here, where I know all of you guys care just as much, if not more. Like all of us are pissed about it, and like I don't know, it feels good to be able to vent to people that are actually going to try to understand like where you're coming from, because we all want to fucking see things differently. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I feel it.
For sure.
Also, yeah.
What's up? You want to say something?
Oh, no, I just feel like somebody else should talk.
Oh yeah, go ahead and popcorn it. You go
Well,
popcorn it off to someone.
Oh, like, well, does anybody have any questions? I know I've been like super MIA about everything, but there has been a lot of stuff that I was dealing with like personally, and like I said, like I'm not working, and it's like all we have is time to think, and like I don't know, it's a little overwhelming. But yeah, does anybody have any like questions for me? I'm also comfortable with all pronouns. I identify as queer, non-binary. I know I look kind of like a boy right now, but it's because I'm home and in my bed.
No worries.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then I think I'm not sure who went, but I'll popcorn someone that I didn't hear speak last time. Well, Leo, because has he spoken or she spoken? They. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah, I'm like so nervous.
No, no worries. I'm like actually really nervous too. I'm like trying not to show it, but yeah. That's cool. I'm also non-binary, and my pronouns are they, them. I'm
Sorry. My video got cut off, but I'll be on the line right here, you guys, so I can listen.
okay.
Yeah. So sorry, I'll take it away.
You're good. You actually just reminded me, this Sunday is when I get to do my second testosterone injection. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's super exciting.
Hey.
Yeah, the first time didn't go so well, so I'm hoping this one goes even better. So I've been nervous about that. I'm just kind of exhausted this week. I feel overwhelmed. All the cis men in my life are just up to here with me, honestly. It's a lot. Like, I'm over here trying, like, some of these people that I try to confide in, they just like, so what? And I'm like, what do you mean, so what? This stuff matters. This is like so it's I'm doing school, 12 minutes, but I had to deal with, like, I didn't get a content warning for this reading that we had, and it literally like depicts the actual brutalities and monstrosities of colonization, like from somebody who got a firsthand account of it. And I'm like, first of all, dude, the guy who wrote this literally just like sat there and watched the Spanish just destroy the indigenous populations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. And then the professor just doesn't, no content warning, nothing. And I'm like, bro, I was sobbing through, like, as I was reading through it, like my girlfriend and I, oh, it was a lot. And I was like shaking, sick to my stomach. It was just so bad. And I'm like, it's like the epitome of like higher academia, and how like the European academia default is to observe at a distance but do nothing, just stand idly by as these things happen. And I'm like, oh, that's what I've been dealing with. So it's a lot. They really don't have any remorse for it, for the genocide of like Black, brown, indigenous people. And this white lady is teaching this, so I'm like, you really don't understand like how this is going to affect your students of color, man. Yeah, I'm getting all hot thinking about it again. I'm gonna popcorn it off to, wait, who didn't go? Michelle. Oh, yeah.
I actually have a question for you, Leo. Did she ever reply to what you told her?
I honestly posted it on like an assignment thing. It's a voice thread.
Oh,
And yeah, I posted it on like the first slide, so like everybody can see that, because, yeah, RCC, Riverside City College.
okay. Well,
yeah, sorry.
Keep us updated on that, because that's literally just so bad.
It is. Like, you really don't give a content warning. Like, who's the teacher? Gerdes. Kristen Gerdes, Gerdes. Yep. Some white lady. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so mental health check. I've had a tough week. My week has been really tough. I think it started with my job. And so I'm a marketing rep for this company that does like construction for like a lot of like commercial buildings. So like we do UC Berkeley, we do Academy of Arts, we do like all these like, we deal with a lot of properties that all these like rich people like freaking like own and everything. And at first I was really comfortable there, and like I really liked everyone and everything. And then I told you guys I got into it with that one guy that put a Donald Trump button on my desk, and literally he pressed it and it was just like, build a wall, da 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 da, like all this stuff. And it kind of like, first of all, it made me really uncomfortable. Second of all, the fact that he was Mexican kind of just like bothered me even more, because I don't know. Like, I just can't see how, like, you are for Trump when he literally, like, if you just hear everything he says, he's not for us. Like, he's not for you. And yet you stand behind him. So that just really bothered me. And ever since then, like, work has just been, like, I haven't been really into it. Like, I've just been, like, tapping out a lot. I've just been wanting to, like, go home. Like, not really, like, I just don't really like being in there anymore. So I have been applying to different places just because, like, I just feel like they always bring up politics. And first of all, I don't think they're even allowed to do that. Like, yeah, they can't. But, like, they always, like, bring it up. And, like, it just, like, really bothers me. And, like, the other day we were, like, on a Zoom. We had, like, a Zoom meeting with, like, a couple of our other people that are kind of spread out. Like, there's this one girl that lives in Kansas, and she was on the Zoom call with us, and, like, the Zoom call was going fine. Obviously, we're just, like, going over, like, our marketing plan or whatever for, like, the month, and then she, like, casually just drops in and was just like, oh, don't even get me started on, like, the NBA or, like, what they're doing right now, like, they're canceled and da 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 da. And, like, she was just like, they're so stupid, like, they should just stick to their field and, like, what they know. And, like, she was just ranting, and I literally, like, my face, like, first of all, I'm in the Zoom call is, like, majority of, like, whites and white people in it, and, like, I'm obviously, you can tell that, like, I'm part Black, so, like, them just saying this stuff, like, just really, like, just bothered me, because, like, I'm not the type of person that's gonna bring that stuff into, like, my work. So, like, I just didn't say anything or retaliate, but I literally just, like, hopped off the Zoom call. I just, like, exit out of it, and, like, my boss, like, texted me saying, like, where did you go? And I'm just like, I'm just not, like, I told him I don't feel comfortable. I'm not going to sit here and hear this lady from freaking Kansas talk about, like, how she's, like, against BLM. Like, I just can't. And then I was just like, if you guys want to talk about work, then let's talk about work. But if you want to talk about this, like, you know, BLM and all this other stuff, like, just no. So, yeah, that's going on with work. Then I had, like, this huge thing with that one guy that I told you guys about. And, like, that just really bothered me, because, like, I think the comment he made that really, like, irked me and really, like, mentally just, like, fucked me up is when he said, like, I'm a Black man, I should be teaching you. And that just, like, kind of, first of all, really hurt me, because I've been talking to this guy for a really long time, and I didn't know this was, like, his true colors. And second of all, he just, like, basically said, like, because he's a Black man, he should be teaching a Black woman. Like, no, like, that's not, like, it, no way in how is that right to say. And so, like, obviously I went off on him, and, like, I ended up, like, deleting him and blocking him and everything, because it's just, like, I don't really need to waste my time and effort on, like, a dude that thinks this way. Like, I get it. Like, I'm never gonna talk down on your Black excellence and, like, what you do for the Black community, but the way you're treating, just because you're say, like, Black women are a part of BLM, like, you know, like, it's not just Black men, like, and that's, I feel like that's where a lot of, and he was just like, oh, like, we're in the same community and, like, we shouldn't be attacking one another. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not attacking you. I just try to notify you that, like, you know, like, hey, like, you shouldn't be using the hashtag BLM for a selfie that you're posting on Instagram that has nothing to do with the BLM movement. Like, people are clicking this hashtag to get information and to, like, seek out, like, help, and you're literally using it to capitalize on it, like a photo for, like, and I was just like, it just really made me uncomfortable. And, like, so that whole thing was just like, yeah, and both of those things happened this week. So I've just been really mentally, like, just going through it, and just kind of like what you said, Kayla, about, like, the whole social media thing, and, like, how it really, I mean, it's good that everyone's, like, trying to inform each other and, like, posting stuff, and, like, you know, like, we're, like, learning a lot from it. I'm not saying it's, like, bad, but at the end of the day, like, you're right. Like, the one thing that's going to change it is, like, money. Like, as like sick as that sounds, like money's the only thing, like putting wealth into these Black and brown communities is like literally what's gonna change it. And like Carly, how you said like, oh, like you will die for this movement, and like so will I. And so like it just makes me mad that like us, like I'm not wealthy right now, I don't have that wealth to be able to put back into my community. Like I'm struggling myself and trying to keep like pay my rent and my stuff. So like it just makes me really angry that these people that are wealthy and that can make a big change are choosing not to. Yeah, maybe they're like doing what they like, you know, but it's just not enough. And they have so much and can do so much with it. And posting that they're for BLM and on their, like all these people we idolize and all these celebrities and all these like people that have money that can completely change everything, they choose not to. And so like I feel like that just makes me like super angry. And like at the end of the day, like the people that are willing to die for it are the poor people, are the people that like are going through it every single day. And like it's just, in my mind, it just makes me so angry, because it's just like, why are the poor people willing to die for this when the rich people can literally stop all of it but choose not to? And it's just like, it's one thing to post on social media that you're about BLM, but it's another thing to actually do, like, you know, like actually do something about it. And I think the people that are wealthy can do something about it, and majority of them are choosing not to or not doing enough for it. And that's kind of like this whole week what I've been like going through in my mind and like being angry about. But yeah, so I'm a very angry person, but I just like, I'm also an Aries, so like that takes play in it too. But yeah, I've just been trying to work out to like help with like my anxiety and like my stress and like my anger issues. So that's been going pretty well. But yeah, I don't know, guys, it's just a lot. So I guess I'll popcorn it to someone else. Alondra, I don't think you've talked yet.
Hi. Thank you for sharing that, Michelle. That was wonderful. And I do agree with what was Carly saying? She was I'm blanking. I'm a bit nervous.
Was it about the white people like basically saying they're for Black lives but are not willing to die for Black liberation?
Oh yeah, dying for this movement. I've been down to die for this movement since like, I remember one time I was sitting in class and like the teacher was like, I bet no one here is willing to die. And I was like, I'm fucking willing to die for the like, specifically for the environmental movements. But I, like even for this is just like an extension of it. This is part of it. So I would totally be willing to die for it any day. But recently I've been feeling a little overwhelmed mental health wise, because I feel like I haven't been doing enough and I don't even know where to get started. And I feel like sometimes like I'm like constricted by like what my family members want of me and like how much time I can actually have to do all these things. And I just feel a little overwhelmed. But yeah, that's how I've been feeling.
Alondra, was that an IR class? Was that Anthony Pankey's class or no?
No, that was an environmental studies class.
Oh my god.
I'm not even joking. It was
Professor.
I think it was
The white guy?
no, the Kiwi. What's his name? Yeah, it was his class. I think it must have been his summer class that I took, and that's an environmental studies movement. It was like environmental studies 600 or something. I don't know, but the kids were just not about it then, and I was totally about it, and that was like more than a year ago. I was like, how could you not? Like, how could you not be willing to die for this? How could you like say that like you're down for it, but like, you know, when it comes down to it, like you wouldn't die. I don't know, just like looking at like Berta Caceres and like all these other like indigenous people who have been on the front lines fighting against like capitalist venture movements and like for buildings and stuff, or like foreign investment foreign investment buildings and stuff like that just irritates me. Like, how could you not be about it? And especially being an environmental studies class, like, what are you doing here? Like, leave.
Oh no. I think her laptop must have died. She was popping off though. Yeah, I really wanted. Yeah, I really wanted to hear what else she had to say, but I guess maybe she's gonna have to like wait for her laptop to charge up again. So, damn. Well, Elizabeth, do you want to go for now?
Yeah, I'll go. This week I've been trying to stay optimistic about the movement because sometimes it's so easy to fall, well, at least for me, into that like thinking of like, oh my gosh, there's like so much that needs to be changed. Is this even possible? Like, are we just like hoping and it'll actually never come? But actually have a quote from Angela Davis that like I keep reading to myself, and that has really helped me kind of get through the times where I feel like everything's just so overwhelming. And I'm going to read it to you guys. But it goes, I don't think we have any alternative other than remaining optimistic. Optimism is an absolute necessity, even if it's only optimism of the will and pessimism of the intellect. So I don't know, I guess it's more about having that mentality of you just have to keep fighting, even if your mind is telling you that there's just so much that needs to change still. And one thing that's been getting on my nerves is especially white people that like to fall into this nihilistic thing and they think it's cool. I don't know if you guys have come across that, but they're just like, well, we can't do anything about it. Like, ha ha ha. Like, I don't know. It's just, that's what gets on my nerves when they're just like not really speaking up for anything and just knocking any effort down because, oh yeah, you guys are like signing petitions. That's not going to do anything. You guys are, and I get it to an extent. A lot of stuff that people do may not be as helpful as they think it is. But I just hate that. I hate that negativity of always just bringing people down for the good that they're trying to do. And I'm talking about like, it's usually white people and they're nitpicking at something that people of color are doing to try and help somehow. And that's just been getting on my nerves a lot because to me, that just comes from a place of privilege. You are just sitting there being like, yeah, nothing can be changed. That's dumb. That's not going to help. But it's just like, some people people are like desperate to see change here and we're willing to do anything. And it's just, we don't need that like negativity. And I don't know, that's just been getting on my nerves lately because I've come across a lot of people lately that are just like, oh, like, I don't know, just bringing people down for, if you don't want to hang out with people because of their politics, blah, blah, blah. They're like, wow, that's just like too much. Like, shut up. You know, that's like, yeah, I can see why you feel that way because if someone votes for Trump, your life is not on the line. But that's not the case for everyone. And it's just annoying. It's getting on my nerves. I've seen a lot of it lately, a lot of bringing people down, a lot of also trying to like, especially in leftist circles, I see it a lot, like trying to erase race from everything and just make it about, you know, the rich. Yeah, the rich, I agree 100%, but also race. You know, it's not just one or the other. They're very, very much intertwined, intermingled. You can't separate the two because they're very much linked, you know, and they've been linked for hundreds of years. So the fact that especially white leftists are doing that pisses me off. It makes me angry. And it kind of like, I don't know, it gives me like racist vibes, honestly. But that's all. That's where I'm at this week. Oh, who should I pop right to? I don't know who hasn't gone.
I think Lisa.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's on the other Zoom call.
She said that she'll go last, but I think Miranda's also driving.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Oh, shoot.
and Alondra is up. Her laptop is updating.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe they can like do mental health checks. Like we'll like get them towards the end or something.
Yeah, we'll get them at the end. That sounds good. Yeah, that was a lot and like just very true. I also have seen white leftists do that, Elizabeth, and I also think it's racist. Like they're just leaving out such an important factor that they don't even want to acknowledge. It's like, what are you doing? Like, it's just stupid. But anyway, so did y'all want to bring up any political events at all, or anything? If not, we can just move on to the discussion.
I feel like that should be an entire discussion on its own because there's just like so
There's
much.
a lot.
Like I feel like if we get into it right now, like we literally won't stop.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I guess we can start the discussion until Miranda and Lisa get back. We can start the discussion on BIPOC features and us thinking they were ugly, maybe when we were younger, having like a different perception on it versus now. So would anyone like to go first?
I just want to say, like, some of my earliest memories. So, my uncle, who just like he passed a few years ago. He was dating this white girl, Amber, when I was a kid. Like when I was a little kid. And I don't know what it was, but I remember wanting to be like her. And I remember like whenever I put lotion on it, this is really dumb. I would put lotion on and I'm like, oh look, I'm white like Amber, you know? And I don't know, like that's what I wanted. Like I don't know, and I was like 4. It was I don't know, that's just that says something. I feel like that says a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I would I feel like growing up for me, I had a lot of things that I didn't like about myself just because like, I don't know, like we're all kind of around the same age, I think. But like the shows I would watch and everything, like there was no like nowadays you have Moana and like, you know, you have more like more different Disney characters that aren't like super white and like I just like growing up I always like pictured my hair like pictured my skin like I always wanted white skin and blonde hair, and I mean I have blonde hair now but I look better in it. But yeah, like I just don't like, I don't know, like growing up for me, like I always wanted straight hair. That was like one of my biggest things. It's just like I would always wear my hair like in a ponytail and like my I would always like wanted to have my parents straighten it like in middle school and elementary school, like just because I just didn't like how curly, how like, you know, like I just like my hair was just like something that I was just always so insecure about. And like I feel like how that changed for me now is just like my hair is probably like my favorite thing about me, and like I love like my hair now, and I kind of just like realized that like I allowed these norms that like the society has created to what I'm supposed to look like with like all these like models and all these like girls and like colored eyes, white skin, blonde hair, super skinny. Like that's another thing. Like my body, like obviously like I am not skinny, never was. And like I remember like in like middle school, like I used to shop at Fashion Nova in middle school because like their jeans were like, you know, like the only stretchy type of materials that would fit me, and like used to get bullied about it because like I wasn't wearing I didn't have Hollister jeans and like all this stuff. So it's just like growing up like that and seeing how people are now with like what I used to get bullied about kind of makes me mad, because now like every skinny girl wants to be thick and like all the like, you know, like and everyone's on that Fashion Nova trend, and like everyone wants to like are appropriating Black culture and wants like braids and wants like all this stuff. And it just like makes me so angry because it's just like something that I used to, that these girls that are like trying so bad to be like what I am naturally, like, but these girls used to bully me about it. And like, it just like, or these, even the guys, like, oh, you have a big ass, like, da 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 da, like, you just get made fun of. Now who wants this ass? Like, literally, like, it's just like, it's makes me so mad. And I think growing up, like, a big thing, because I used to be really into like Barbies, like that was like my like thing. I had like Hannah Montana and like a whole Barbie collection and this and that. And like you never saw like colored Barbies like back then. Like I remember I had to do like a project one time, and me and my dad, it was this book I was reading in high school, like freshman year of high school. I forgot what it's called. But my character, I had to bring like something physical to represent my character, and the character I was doing, he was like Black, and I couldn't find a Black Barbie anywhere. And me and my dad went to like 4 different Targets, 4 different Walmarts. Like we literally went everywhere, to the point where like my dad was like, okay, we have to buy a white Barbie and we're gonna paint it brown. Like that's literally what we did. And I showed up in class with the painted brown Barbie and everyone was laughing. And I'm just like, this isn't funny. Like, first of all, like the fact that it was that hard to find a Black Barbie, like I was just like, that's just like not okay. But yeah, so like, I mean, like growing up, like with like the features that I have, like I was always super insecure about it. And then now I kind of just like, I don't know, like I guess like I'm not insecure about them at all. If anything, like I love the features that I have. And it took me until like me going to college and like kind of just like educating myself on like how these like how society like depicts like how a girl's supposed to be, and like it's just like really cruel, and like it's not true and it's not real. And like I don't think any girl should be like talked, or like anybody be talked down about like any of their features because like they're different, like, you know, like. And nowadays it's kind of hard because you have social media and like you have like these like people that are getting plastic surgery, and like everyone's just like, you trying to be like them, and it's just like not realistic at all, and it really frustrates me. But yeah, I guess that's my little rant about that. I don't know if anyone wants to comment on that or jump in.
I totally feel that. Like yes, completely.
What
When I what was that?
What about barrettes?
What?
Yes.
Barrettes?
Like
Barrettes.
Brad. I was thinking like for your hair. I'm like, oh, the braids I use in my hair.
Wait, what, Kayla?
Bratz dolls.
Oh, Bratz. I thought you said barrettes.
No, I kind of pronounced it like that, but Bratz is like the dolls of
Bad bitch.
Yeah.
I used to love Bratz so much.
Me too.
Sorry, Carly, for interrupting.
And like my dad didn't really like me playing with Bratz dolls just because like of like how they dressed. And so he would always just because I used to always wrong. Like I was like, she's wearing a thong, I want to start wearing a thong.
They were really sexy dolls, like sexual dolls.
Did you
Are
see
very
the
sexy.
statement on Black
You heard that
Lives
they're
Matter? It was
marketing
like,
it.
yes, Bratz.
Wait,
What
what?
was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's random. It's a random topic, but
Huh?
we can move on. It was just a random topic about Bratz.
Wait, what were you saying, Sandy? Did you say something?
Oh, I was just commenting on what you said, that they look very sexy, quote unquote, and I was like, oh yeah, like marketed for kids, but also they're very like their outfits are so cute, like looking back, and I'm like, damn, early 2000s pop off, like I want the Bratz like outfits on me.
Super cute. Agreed. I guess I'll go next. Or did you want to popcorn it off to someone, Nichelle?
I popcorn it off to you.
Oh, wow. Yes, the platform boots of the Bratz, so cute. Oh my god, Jasmine, I had Jasmine. I loved those dolls so much. I had Barbies, but like I liked Bratz way more, like Bratz and Polly Pockets, I think.
Deep pockets? What?
Do you know about those?
Yes, but
Oh.
like I used to do my scenes. My scenes are my shit.
Oh, I never had like the actual doll. I would just like play online.
The game?
Yeah.
The game?
Dress up games were my shit.
My like older sister fucking on Star Doll playing the my scene like, and she's like 24, and I was like down.
I will do it again. I will. I love that shit so much.
My sister's 21 now, and she will still like get on somebody's computer and start playing on Star Dolls dress up.
Is that still around?
Last time, okay, I saw her playing it like last year, so I'm like,
That is funny.
Right?
I will admit, I did play a dress-up game the other day because I was like feeling so shitty, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go back to my roots and I'm gonna play a dress-up game, and it was really nice. But anyway, speaking on the BIPOC features, I totally agree with like mostly everything Michelle said. Like I've always been a curvy girl, and like I feel like just a lot of people were not like, that was not the style back then. It was all about A-line, people like Kate Moss, like skinny. That's cool, Enrique. Yes, Polly Pockets. But yeah, it was just really upsetting to like growing up at like Brown and going to like a predominantly white school and seeing like my crushes liking white girls, and I was just like, oh, am I like, you know, like I wanted to be affiliated with whiteness, I felt like, and like I would pray. I even told Sandy, like we were having a conversation about this before, like that I would pray sometimes to have like white skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, like that I would wake up like that, and then the next morning I'd be like, oh, I don't have that, like what happened? And it's just like so fucked up when you really think about it, because like you shouldn't be wanting that. Like you should be seeing, like Michelle said, people in the media even, or like cartoons, princesses that you saw, like Jasmine was like the only like woman of color princess, like what the fuck, and Pocahontas, but like that's a whole nother story with like the romanticization of white men. So and that used to be one of my favorite movies, and like looking back on it, it's just like, wow, like I was just like always into white boys, and like white, like I didn't really like, I liked brown and black guys too, but I was more like, I'm into white men, and that like barely stops like in college, or like senior year of college, because I had only dated white or white passing men, and then I realized they all just fucking suck, because like they literally need to put their feet in their mouths, because they just have so much privilege, and no one has ever it sounds like no one has really ever questioned them or argued with them or like questioned their beliefs, and they just think like everything they say is word, you know. So I'm glad to say that only black and brown men now. Those are the only romantic partners I'm accepting now. But yeah, I think that was pretty much it. My dad is brown and my mom is like white passing, and it's just like, I don't know. I think she definitely gets away with a lot more, maybe just doesn't realize the bias. But yeah, I guess that's all. That's pretty much it. So why don't I popcorn to Lisa?
That's funny. Carly, me and my friend had this conversation earlier today about, and I brought up that story that you told, because I think you told that story for a class we had together with Carlos. And it really made me think, and I heard you say that maybe like 2 years ago, and how you like wanted to be blonde hair, blue eyes, so that the boy you liked you. And then I thought back to like who I liked as a kid. And one of the things that like really shaped who I like how I viewed myself and like my first experience realizing there was two different worlds was when I went to an elementary school. I transferred to an elementary school for the GATE program, and I was in the 4th grade. And I went from a school in my neighborhood that was like mostly brown students and English as a first language students, and like my family grew up in that neighborhood. My aunt worked there. And I went to Norco Elementary, which is like the whitest school probably. And I was the only brown kid there, and yeah, gifted and talented education. Yeah. So like I was the only brown kid there, and I started to like pick up on things. But I think like for one, I had never really seen white kids before. Like I didn't hang out with white kids. I didn't like have many white kids in my classes. There was like one white boy at our school in our class. So like I don't think I was ever like initially attracted to white boys, but as I got older, I realized that like I had never been into white men. I think because white men were never really into me. So I think that like I was conventionally unattractive to white men. So I didn't consider them attractive back, you know, like I'd already ruled them out as like a dating pool. And I had this conversation with another friend who's like not very like white, doesn't have a lot of European features either. And she like kind of expressed that same sentiment, like, oh, I've never liked white men. And I told her like, yeah, I thought that too. I was like, but then I kind of interrogated myself and was like, did I not like white men, or did white men not like me first? You know? And she was like, shit, I think you're right. Like, and I think it's kind of like, I didn't even realize what I was doing at the time, but I really was responding to the way like I thought white men valued me. And I'm grateful now. But I like had always thought that like no white man, and like they were always popular, like athletic, you know, whatever. Like I never thought that I would ever date a white person. So like I don't know like exactly what I'm getting at, but I don't know if anyone's ever felt that way or like can like affirm that experience. But yeah, I remember like, and I agree with what a lot of y'all have said about not realizing this until you're older and kind of just seeing how you like survive in the world and being othered, you know. And like I can honestly say I didn't really know that I was othered until I went to that white school. Or I didn't even know that I was othered until I went to like a liberal college, you know? So it's just, that's that on that. So I'll popcorn it off to, I wasn't here for some of the conversation. Does someone who hasn't spoken want to speak up?
Miranda, would you like to go?
Yeah, yes, I will. Hi, I'm Miranda, pronouns she, her, just because there are new peeps here. I was writing down some notes because I was driving home the whole way, and I was like trying to remember things that popped into my head. So I guess I'll like start from the mental check, if that's cool.
Oh, okay.